Okay, thank you for joining us. Today we have with us Donna Drucker from Health Advocate, and she's going to be talking to you about a healthier you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here today. And this is something that, we are all looking at, but it's a little bit different this post-pandemic, but we're still in the effects. And it's time to look at how to regain some of that balance for us. Looking at mind, body, spirit, it all works together. One breaks down, the other's going to break down. So looking at what we need to develop a plan for ourselves. Next. So Health Advocate, as you know, I'll go through this quickly, is you have counseling benefits for you and your family members in your household, up to 6 sessions. They're on the phones 24/7, licensed counselors. Please use them. Call. There's no silly questions. We all need somebody to run something by. They will talk to you as long as you would like, and then match you with a counselor if you'd like to take it to the next step. That's either through telehealth or in person. And you also have your own advocate. You have advocacy services to help with elder care, child care, legal services. So please remember that that's all there for you. You get 30 minutes with a lawyer. Had somebody that had a real estate issue and they needed a letter. And so we talked about it. The advocate kind of put it together. She got her 30 minutes with the lawyer, had the letter, no cost. So please, they're there for you. No concerns. It's federal confidentiality laws. That's why it's outsourced, so that those are taken very strictly, that it's federal HIPAA confidentiality laws. So your employer doesn't get information of what services and what's going on for you. It's confidential. Next. So today we're going to look at our health. We're going to look at that word stress, because we know there's good stress and bad stress, and what the heck is the big deal about it. Next. So these are the dimensions of wellness. Actually, it was Dr. Heddles back quite a while ago that developed kind of a look at like a bicycle wheel, and each of these is part of the pie. And these are all the areas that we have that we need to have something going on. Does everybody have a good balance in all of these? Absolutely not. We all have different strengths in different areas, different times of the year. One may be stronger than the other. But the idea is we do assessments on everything. We do assessments on what phones we buy, what water we drink. Oh my goodness, we need to be doing it on ourselves. And that's taking the time to look at these dimensions of wellness and say, what's working, what's not? What do I need to add? Physical, emotional, our brain, our socialization, our spiritual life, our environment, and our occupational world. Next. So our overall health with all of these, they work together. So say, like in the little picture, you're going out taking a walk and you ask somebody or a couple of people to go with you. Well, now you've got good overlap because you're getting physical in, your emotional needs, because hopefully it's somebody positive that you're walking with. It's good for your brain. The number one prevention for depression and dementia is exercise. So you're getting your brain moving, you're getting your cognition going, a little focus, you've got socialization, positive spiritual going on. So look at this. Taking a walk with somebody is 6 in 1. Isn't that great? And this is great weather to be outside. So what are people doing? Are you walking? Are you moving? Anybody going to the gym? Anybody doing stuff in their house?
I do a 10-minute yoga thing that I pull from YouTube, like I have streaming on my TV. And that's really helpful to me. And I'll do beginning aerobics and stuff, 15, 20 minutes on that. But pretty much every morning I try to do something.
Excellent. Excellent.
And it's free on YouTube.
There you go. Excellent.
I used to go to the gym every day, but there's been some stuff. Anyway, bunch of excuses, whatever. I am trying to go for a walk with my mom when I get home every evening, but there's always something going on after school. So I'm trying to work on being more consistent. What I have been doing is like just doing stretches in the morning, which is kind of like yoga a little bit. But I'm working on being more consistent with it. And I know that when I was going to the gym on a consistent basis, I saw a huge difference. And when I don't go, I feel it. So, I mean, it really, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, I feel it. So I need to figure out how to get back to the gym on a consistent basis, or either something where I'm doing something physically and a time slot where I can be consistent.
Oh boy, thank you. Did you hit the nail on the head? And that's that word, consistency. We are really hard on ourselves with doing things consistently and getting it into our daily schedule. We only have 24 hours a day. And that's the part, doing our self-care are the things that we tend to put by the wayside. And no, it has to be a priority, because if we don't take care of ourselves and we're getting sick and we're getting stressed, what's going to happen? We're not good to anybody. So yeah, that consistency. You also made some other great points of that, it doesn't have to be the same thing every day. You can shake it up, but having something every day really, really helps. Carly put in the chat the video list. Thank you, Jennifer, for bringing that up. Of freebies. Let's move on. So what's the big deal about having a mental and emotional health? That this is connected. We own our brains 100%. It's the only thing that we own, 100%. 96% of our words and actions are learned behavior. That means we can change all of that. Does it take a lot because we've been doing something one way for years and years? Yes, of course it takes a lot. We're conditioned. We've learned how to do something, but we can change it. We can take that control. It's our mindset. Have you ever taken anything and taken control of your brain and changed your mindset about it? And we did this a lot during the pandemic, friends. And that's finding that positive side of things. The other day, say I had a flat tire in the morning. Well, didn't that mess up the whole day? And the kids are yelling at me and they're late and everybody, and the whole day was messed up. And at night when I'm laying there going over the day and having my pity party, put some structure to it and then change it and say, what's my gratitude moment here? Well, the gratitude moment is that I own a car. And these are the little things that go along with owning a car. But so changing your mindset, looking for that positive to change it to. How do you see yourself, your world, where you're living? That has an effect then on, like Mary was saying, with getting and moving and going and putting something on YouTube. So it's a trickle-down effect. And it has to start with what our heart is saying, and then our heart tells our brain. Next. So what does functioning well mean? And I'm going there, people. We're going to talk a little bit later, too, about nutrition. Physical means taking care of our body and the physical nature. as well as what we're putting in. We all know what we need, what kind of metabolic system we have, how our bodies work, and we need to look at that. Sleep, please, please, please. Sleep is so very important to rejuvenate all of our systems, getting that oxygen flow. There's actually a purpose for it. And that 8 hours comes from needing that 4 hours of deep REM sleep and 2 hours to get into it, 2 hours to get out of it. The latest studies are actually that we need 8 to 10. Anybody here getting 8 to 10? Good sleep? I mean, consecutively, people. No, I bet not. But please look at that and say, this is important for our health, to look at it, please. Our senses, to take a break during the day. And you know how when you're reading something and you've read it for 200 times and you're saying, okay, I still don't know what this says. What's going on? Take a brain break. Go get up, walk around the office, go walk around your house. If you can, stick your head outside and change your senses. What am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I smelling? What am I tasting? That will refocus your brain so that you can start again on whatever task you're doing. But to take control of these things. Next. So it's not just a part of us. It's not just a one single segment. It encompasses our world, our life, everything. It's how we stay grounded. It's our friends that have a good foundation in their wellness of their mind and their body working together, that have better coping skills. And those coping skills, like we were looking at, that list of the dimensions of wellness, people that have a balance in those areas, that leads to the resiliency to bounce back better when something happens. And in this world and in our lives, something always happens and will happen. So this is our coping skills that helps with our resiliency. Next. So, the old listen to your stomach, and we need to do that because our gut is where a lot of our emotions and a lot settles in. And we have to listen. Are you listening to your body? Are you tuning into it? Do you know, in environments, when we talk about environment, we mean macro, where are you living on the beach or in the mountains or in the city or suburbs? What is that environment? And then what's your neighborhood look like? And then your actual residence. Is it comfortable? Is it safe? Is it healthy? Is it your safe, calm place? Your workplace is another environment. So you're looking at all of these, and to take that step of self-awareness and say, how do I feel here? What makes me feel good here? What do I see? What do I hear? And using and opening up your senses to see that and say, what can I change? What can I change to make this more positive and more beneficial? Next. So I said we're going to talk a little bit about those nutrition and fitness, but what goals do you have? The bottom line is I'm the only one responsible for how many cookies are going down, and looking at what that looks like during the week or the weekends, or it's a special event coming up, but taking control of that and actually making a plan for yourself that works. And there too, there are many, many programs. The school board has a lot of programs. Please, you've got a lot of support and you're not in this alone. I think all of us can say we could use an accountability buddy to help and say, hey, how's your day going? Looking at those comfort foods. And again, that's our learned behavior. What foods did you grow up with as the comfort foods when something happened, your go-tos? Are you changing those? Can you change that to something else? Also with this comes the recreational drugs. What are you doing on that side? Looking at, or am I having a glass of wine and oops, the bottle's empty? Or I can't sleep, so I'm taking Tylenol PM and then the bottle's empty. But going down dangerous paths. Please, please, this is the time to take an awareness of those goals, those nutritional goals, having a balance, and looking at those learned behaviors to say, what am I doing? I want to change this. Next. So our nutrition isn't just when we look in the mirror and what we see in our body. We're talking about the inside functioning. We know it has to do with our heart, our pulmonary, diabetes, our brain, and our thinking. And friends, a lot of this we are doing to ourselves. A lot of the learned behavior that can be changed. And to say, wait a minute, it's called epigenetics. We can change some of our genes, not all of them, but we can take control. And that's the idea. It's saying, what am I in control of and what am I not? And looking at it and saying, well, just because my whole family has diabetes, what can I do about it to maybe take better control and to change some of that within myself? Am I a morning person or a nighttime person? That has to do with, cognition too, and looking at your nutrition. It all works together. When do you feel most empowered during the day and most on target? And when are your slumps? And how does that kind of bell curve fit with your nutrition? When are you putting protein in your body? When are you staying away from sugar? And the white starches to keep more of that balance during the day. And we won't address coffee. You all know that. And we'll look at that, for yourself. Next. Why do we stumble? We are human. Keep going, Carly, please. So we are human. This is our learned behavior. Sometimes, it's like, well, I have no choice. This is the way it's always been. Well, guess what? It's time to look at it. We do have those triggers that come. Go ahead, move forward, please. So on our emotional triggers, our feelings, is it watching a scary movie? And what do you go to? What do you grab from the kitchen when you're watching a scary movie? What do you grab when you're sad? What do you grab when you're happy? But being in touch with how our feelings and what the definition of needing comfort is. Is it something other than food? Is it changing your environment and getting out and opening up your senses to, some fresh air or a different mindset? It's how to lower the anxiety. Friends, it's taking control over your brain and the behaviors that will lower the anxiety and lower the depression and lowering the stress. Next. There's good stress and there's bad stress. You're not going to like me. There's no stress between two people. It's impossible. There has to be a third element involved, right? If I'm getting my fresh loaf of bread at the grocery store and the register person is having trouble with their scanner and now they're squeezing my fresh loaf of bread, I'm now getting triggered. But there's nothing between me and this other person. It's the scanner, it's the machine. And it's my fresh loaf of bread involved here. But to step back, where do you start to feel stress in your body first? Is it in your chest? Is it in your stomach? Are you clenching your jaw? Are you making fists and don't realize it? Where do you feel it? So first is feeling it first. And then doing some deep breathing for yourself to take control of that. Then change that activity. Look for What are the components of why I'm feeling stressed like now? And am I responsible for something or am I not? Am I taking care then of myself? I'm the only one responsible for my words and actions. Ooh, they make me so mad. Nobody can make me feel a certain way without my permission. I'm the only one responsible. So to take a step back and to look at that and get your breathing going, please. Next. So we talked about identifying it, have a plan, get some breathing, step away, changing your environment. What does that look like? What are you doing for positive self-talk and saying, these are the things that I'm in control of. I'm not in control of the weather outside. Sorry, haven't figured that out yet. But I am in control of how I choose to handle the situation. And that's why we need to identify your triggers, have a plan, and move yourself along. Having 3-4 things up your sleeve that you can work with. Next. Health and exercise. Thank you. So is it that you want to lose weight, gain weight, tighten your core, get healthier? Exercise reduces stress. We talked about depression, anxiety, the dementias, and Alzheimer's. Exercise is the number one prevention. Look at for our heart disease. And starting to walk, 10 minutes, all of a sudden you'll find that you're walking for 20. All of a sudden you're still going and you're feeling good and your pace is getting brisker. Look at this, the energy that you will gain, the brain focus, the strengthening for your heart, your lungs. This improves every part of your life. So get a buddy, figure it out. We need to change our thinking about the exercise. Something every day. Next. Our cardio, we talked about it. Get it in how? What is it good? What does your doctor, what do your plans say of how much you need? Please look at that and get on a plan. Next. Our weight training, great for our bones. We need that also. It raises our metabolic system and it increases our bone health as well. It helps the stamina. So we need to avoid those injuries, those slips and falls, and we feel better. This is increasing our wellness from the inside out. Next. Our flexibility. People talked about stretching in the morning. Thank you. Are you stretching? We need that flexibility for that impact, for our endurance, for that core strength, and it helps our balance. We must. And stretching. Thank you, Carly. Next, recreation. What are you doing for fun? I said this before. F-U-N, fun. It's in the middle of the word dysfunctional. Pull it out and let's have some fun. What are you doing? Do you know that with dancing, put on your favorite song, either with somebody there, without somebody there, you get your dance moves going for 3 to 5 minutes. That is the number one, because in those 3 to 5 minutes, you have moved every system in your body and gotten everything going. And I bet you're laughing along the way and doing it with somebody. Or how about your team? Do you do a little 2:30, everybody up and put your favorite song on and get your dance moves going? That's all that takes. So looking at it, rowing, dancing, playing with your children. What are you doing to get your recreational fun back in there? What are people doing for fun? Anybody? Wrong answer. You need more fun. Think about it. I'll move on. Next. Okay, so ideas, we're looking at less soda, more water, less alcohol, more tea, less sugar, friends. It's destroying our bodies. Get those fruits going. Less meat, more vegetables, less driving, more walking, less worry, more good, solid sleep. On that, when you go to sleep at night, when you go to bed, rather, please take your 5 minutes to go over the day, have your pity party, ruminate over what happened. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe that. I didn't get that. Get it done. Put some boundaries on it. 5 minutes, it's done. Then turn to your attitude of gratitude and drift off to sleep with the positives. By doing that, you have new brain cells every day that are called biogenesis, and they attach to the healthy brain to keep it healthy. So please, you've got all the apps that are out there. You've got peer support. You've got programs. Make those connections. Don't be isolated. Ask somebody, what are you doing? What's working for you? I need to add something in this category. People, we have got to be together in this and help each other with it. So what are some things that, go ahead, move it forward, please. So what are some things? I'm going to come back on. We can take the presentation off. And in our last minutes here, what's something that's working for you? What are you doing? What are you doing for exercise, for nutrition, for working with a buddy system? What's working for you? I told you I was going to go ahead, Jennifer.
I recently joined this Hungry Root. It's like a HelloFresh, but it's more, lower carb, lower sugar. So I'm trying something new. It's kind of cool and it's inexpensive.
Great. Thank you for that. We've got to try. You're stepping out. How about anybody else?
I am currently trying to give up sugar, which is ridiculously hard. And I keep saying, why is this so hard? It should be easy, but it is very challenging for me. But I am not gonna give up. No matter how many times I fall, I'm gonna keep getting back up. Some things that are working are I am eating salads almost every day for lunch and dinner, and then I have a veggie shake. So that helps me which is just like kale or spinach and some fruit, just blend it up, and just helps to get more veggies in.
Thank you. The sugar is hard, and it's because our bodies get addicted to it. And so that's why as we're, cleaning and cleansing our bodies of the sugar, we're going to go through way down times and feeling ill or sick. And those are those times where, oh, this is really hard. And the emotions are all off. And, we've got to stick. Thank you for saying that, we're going to stick with it. And you've got friends and different programs to help. You are not alone. We are not alone in this process. We need each other. Anybody else? What are you doing? Use Calm? Yes, that's a great one. Okay. Oh, I thought you meant the app Calm. That was to take with magnesium. Yes. Good. How about fun? Can I hear a minute of fun? What people are doing? Remember the word fun? What are you doing that you enjoy? Well, find it. What are you good at? What are those talents, those gifts? Because that's what, going to the beach. Thank you. And then when you go to the beach, your assignment is to open up all of your senses to what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're tasting, what you're smelling at the beach, so that it's in your brain and you can take it with you. And then that's a plug and play for when you're feeling stressed or something. You plug and play and get yourself back to that beach and take those 60 seconds to remember what is it? What am I hearing? What am I seeing? What am I smelling? Do that with anything, with your favorite music, with your favorite vacation place, anything to change that mindset for yourself. All right. So I hope that you will work with each other. You've got great things going on. You are in control of more things. Praise and worship music. Yes, there you go. Find it for yourselves and share it with others. Look at all we're learning from each other in 30 minutes. Thank you. I learned a whole bunch that I've been taking notes too. So I appreciate that too. We're in this together. We're not alone, and we're going to keep moving it forward. So think about what you're going to add to your day, what you're going to do for your own self-assessment as we move it forward. Any of this helpful? All right.